I get a lot of questions. Is now a good time for me to sell my home? Should I wait for the market to crash and buy a home later? My name is Robert Atkinson. I'm a real estate broker with Century 21 Leading Edge. During this unprecedented times, the government is coming out with lots of great information regarding the healthcare and what's going on with the virus. Unfortunately, there seems to be very little information coming forward about real estate. So I decided to fill this void and provide you with a great special report on real estate and the pandemic. Ideally, this information will allow you to become educated so you can make great decisions for you and your family as well. So let's start off by talking about the GTA market in general. The Greater Toronto Area, also known as the GTA, covers a large geographical area. The majority of the transactions come from the city of Toronto, which is the lime green area I've highlighted in the map on your screen. According to the realtors, there was 8,012 transactions recorded on the system for March of 2020. This is an increase of over 12% compared to the year 2019. And in line with what we've seen in the past decade or so, this makes perfect sense. There are a lot of people coming to Toronto and a lot of people wanting to buy homes here. So based on the previous slide, one would think that things are fine in the market. However, when we dig a little bit deeper, we start to see the effects of the pandemic appear. So despite a strong increase in sales for March 2020 as a whole, there was a definite break in the market activity between the pre-COVID-19 and post-COVID-19 periods. For the purposes of this report, we're defining this pandemic day as March 15th, 2020. The overall March sales result was clearly driven by the first 2 weeks of March, where we see 58% of the total transactions for the month being recorded. Subsequently, the following 17 days of March recorded only 42% of the sales. So definitely there is something happening. So if we compare the sales recorded during the post-COVID period to the same period in 2019, we find a drop in sales of 15.9%. So again, this is a significant number. When we look at the whole month, things look good. When we look at the last 2 weeks compared to the last 2 weeks of March from last year, not so good. Definitely things have changed. So for March as a whole, we see that the listings were up 3%. And similar to sales, new listings dropped on a year-over-year basis during the second half of the month. We are seeing a slowdown in the market. As fewer people enter, we're being told to stay home. Those who don't yet have a home will still be active. And those who have a need to be leaving will also be active. These will be the buyers and sellers. Now, this gives us a really good idea of the big picture. So let's look at the city of Markham for a detailed view where we can see a week-by-week snapshot. Markham is in the lower right quadrant of the gray area, highlighted by a red frame. Similar to the earlier slides, we see lead-up of new listings going into the spring market, and then a sudden reaction happening a week after the event. So this would make sense, as we would expect. People have listings already in place. The announcement happens and they're quite unsure as to what's going to happen. Will this be a daily, a weekly? Nobody really knows at this point. As we now know, sitting here several weeks out from that point, this is a very serious event indeed. So overall prices appear to be declining even before the announcement. And then we see a price swing which looks out of place. And this got me bothered. So I took a closer look to find out why, if we're having a pandemic, would prices surge all of a sudden? And as you can see from this slide, the number of solds tells the story. While we had a pretty equal mimicry of 2019 in terms of the angle, where we see things change dramatically is a decline in the number of solds. And looking at the very end of the graph, which is the week of March the 9th, we see there's only 2 homes sold. So the price spike in home averages is well explained by the fact that we have an average of only 2 homes being sold. And what we do see is that homes in 2019 took more than 3 times as long to sell as 2020, even post-announcement. So what we can infer is that homes are being sold quickly and in record times, which indicates to me at least anyways, that a demand still exists. So what we do know, the GTA is still the top destination for immigration to Canada. There are still more buyers than sellers, and the economy is still in good shape in spite of everything that's happening. What we don't know yet, though, is will the pandemic create massive job losses? If this drags on, well, clearly this would have severe impact on the economy. And at that point, it would be very difficult to even suggest what might happen with the market. So I can't really put words in your mouth, but now you have the same information I have. I have my own thoughts and ideas, and if you'd like to call me and discuss them, that's great. I will be presenting this again to give you more update on what's happening as the weeks roll by. Let's hope it's a very short series of videos because nobody wants us to go on very long. Take care, and if you have any questions, be sure to send me a message from down below or click the like button or just reach out. I'm always available to chat. Thank you.